Okay.
I was already brought up like an art director for working in advertising agencies, and in 1996, after working for many years in different agencies in Holland and in London, we started our own agency called Kessels in Amsterdam, and we also did this because, you know, like working in advertising means you have to do a lot of compromises and a lot of things that you don't want to do. So we were stubborn enough to start our own agency and took the risk. Yeah, from that moment on, we also thought, you know, it's good to do as less compromise as possible, but also to integrate sometimes your hobby into your work. And this is the office of us in Amsterdam. It's in an old church, and an abandoned church. So we go every day to church, which is also quite nice. And another issue is it's purely on photography that we found on pornographic websites. But then we took the photography that's just happening before the action starts. Just moving house, birthday parties. The pizza delivery is also a classic theme. So it says like big sausage pizza. And also this one, like the one on the left, is also my favorite. Like a woman in a red dress pouring water over herself. You think like, why would you do this? But you know, I think the image is beautiful. I visited a lot of flea markets in different cities, so like Brussels, Paris, Lisbon, Barcelona, Berlin, Sofia. So there's a lot of cities where you can find quite good stuff. At a certain moment, I bought a lot, and I'm not like after the volume, but more sometimes I need to find something interesting. Her name was Ria van Dijk, and she's still alive. She's now 90 years old, and she used to shoot in these shooting galleries. And this is an image from 1936, and she was 16. So this was the first time that she went to like a photo gallery, or like a photo shoot gallery in a fun fair or a Luna Park, or I don't know how you call it. So when she shot with a rifle at a target, and when she hit the bullseye, then it would take a photograph of her. But then she did this every year after. So after 1936, she did it every year. Apart from the war, of course, there was no fun fair in the war, and also there were some other people shooting. And then the Polaroid comes up. So I visited her in her elderly house. She lives there now. She was really happy that the book was one in the series. I think even with also with the advertising work, I'm mostly interested in telling a story. Like with that Handbrake budget hotel, I can do a whole lecture of an hour only on the work and the stories that we did with that hotel. Even in photograph series of photographers like that hang here, I'm mostly interested in the story behind, because a single picture or a beautiful landscape, or I find it deadly boring. It's like, nowadays it's so easy to photograph, and it's also so easy to exhibit or to be in a gallery, or you know, the whole thing is also sometimes a lot about the outside and not a lot about the inside. And I like it when there's also a certain substance or a certain idea behind a photo series. This was one of the first photo blogs on the internet, because there was this guy living in Hokkaido, the province in Japan, who found out that this rabbit called Oolong, the rabbit was called Oolong, he could balance everything on his head. So every day when you would go to the site, he would upload another image. And cookies, so you see. But before I started the day, I always would log into this website, and then that's a nice start of the day to look at these images. I also dragged them off and collected them. So you could follow that also every day. You could see what was the status of. This was like the last few weeks with him. This wasn't the last image yet. The next day there was another image, and it was this one. So these are two carrots stuck in the snow. So I like also that kind of level that with the rabbit. I think it's a classical story almost. Like first you laugh your head off, and then suddenly you're almost in tears because you see him dying. And then at the last image you get a little kick again, because it's like funny but also tragical at the same time. So I like that kind of storyline, and that was already in there. I didn't make that.